you tell us about availability this week, other than yourself?
Availability. Pep Biel has trained today. He'll train again tomorrow, so he's available for selection. I will have to question whether I start him or he comes off the bench. That's the only question for him. Who else has trained? Harry Toffolo, he's still out, so he's going to be a little bit. DD's fine. He's trained and he's available for selection to start. Other than that, Edan's fine. Edan's fine. He's come through his injury as well, so he's fine and trained. We've only got really Toff out. Archie's got a tight hamstring at the moment, so he played 60-70 minutes for Legacy last week, done really well. Trained on Monday and just felt really tight hamstring, so we'll nurse him and see if it's worth putting him in the squad or not.
What about the two international guys? Are they both okay to go?
Two international guys have come back well. Jack trained today. Tim had a recovery day. He obviously played both games for the US. I'll pop a text onto Posh and just say, just rest him a little bit every now and again, But yeah, he's obviously playing every game for the US at the moment, so we'll give him a bit of a breather. Well, we gave him a bit of a breather and he's done a rest day today, and he'll train tomorrow.
What can you and can't you do Saturday? And what do you plan to do?
Well, we can go at them from the start. We can be...
I'll tell you personally.
Oh, sorry. I'm not allowed to do in-person stuff, but I can actually coach through other mechanisms. So I can still be the head coach on the day, but I'm just not allowed at pitch level, and I'm not allowed in-person talking. So, I can be wired up to somebody and speak to somebody who passes a message on, which is what I will probably do.
So will you have a telephone like Javier Mascherano did in the Leagues Cup?
No, I won't be having a laptop in front of me. I'll probably be sat in the box with Mr. Tepper, if he'll allow me in there with him, to watch the game and feed back to the people, to get my message to them on the bench to what I'm seeing and how they can coach.
Is Miles in charge?
Miles and Christian and Aaron will be there, jointly, coaching the boys.
So will Miles be the one basically standing up, or is it going to be?
Yeah, listen, whatever they want to do, I'm okay with any three of them standing up at any one time. You don't have to just stand up if wanted. If somebody wants to pass a message on to the players, not a problem.
Does this game feel different to you with obviously the potential inclusion of Messi and how much different your team is? It feels like forever since you guys played this team.
No, it won't be different. We're looking forward to it. We're excited. We've won 8 games on the spin. It's a big game because of the position that they're in and the position that we're in. We're in a good moment, and it feels like that. Training's good. The mood in the camp is really good. We've got to make sure that we approach the game so we can carry that on.
This might sound silly, but you've been in such a great moment and you haven't had Pep. What is the challenge of reinserting him but not disrupting the momentum that you've built?
Yeah, but Pep was also part of the first 4 games that we won on this run. He got injured during the Leagues Cup. He's got back around the time that we expected him to get back. The risk for me is to go and throw him straight in. And do I go and throw him straight in? Especially when we've got only 4 games after the Miami game in the regular season and the playoffs. So, I've got to make sure that I do what's best for the club.
You mentioned the temptation to kind of figure out with Baye Coulibaly. Are you at a point where you trust him to feature at any point, or is it still kind of a wait and see with him?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of our numbers at the moment, we've got good numbers. Baye will probably go and play for Legacy tomorrow night. And Jack Neely will probably do the same as well to make sure that they're getting the continuity of games, because we've got a healthy enough squad at the moment to be able to do that. But he's training with us all the time now, and we're getting to see a lot of what he's about.
Do you think Wilfried Zaha is misunderstood?
Is what? Sorry.
Is he misunderstood as a personality?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think everybody sees Will for what he is. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He's a deep thinker. You know, he loves football. It's all he's known for all his life. You know, and he has an opinion, and you know, we like him. He's come in and done really well for us, and we're happy to have him.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I know he's on loan through next June 30th or something like that. Is it? Are you guys contractually allowed to approach him before that, or how does it work?
I have no idea. Okay. No, I don't know. Is the honest answer. Yeah. So he'll probably. I think his contract goes up to the World Cup, and when there's then a break. So you know, I would expect talks to be ongoing between his club and our club, and I'm not even sure what agreement's in place, to be honest.
Okay. Against New England, you said you got in trouble for shouting. What were you shouting about? What were you upset with?
Do you know what? Listen, I understand why I'm suspended for this game. You know, the MLS rules and their policies are clear: 3 yellow cards and you get suspension. What I don't understand is why I got a yellow card, and unfortunately in this league, and I've spoken public about this, that there's no appeals process, you know, and you can't not have an appeals process when you've got one for players and you haven't got one for coaches. You know, that for me is wrong, because whatever I say then, I can't be right, because there's no appeals process. I got the suspension through and it said dissent by word. There was no dissent pointed towards the fourth official. There was no dissent towards the referee. There was frustration, some decisions, and I would have appealed for decisions. The referee, I asked him quite clearly after the game what it was for, and he told me it was for shouting onto the pitch. So I'll be looking for the rest of the season for consistency, and see if other coaches shout onto the pitch, whether they get a yellow card as well.
What were you frustrated with? Was there?
Well, some of the decisions that went against us. I thought we'd had a few too many yellow cards for tackles that I thought wasn't consistent both way rounds. But the last couple of minutes, I think their sub jumped into one of my pet hates again. Jumped into Melanda, and I've appealed for the free kick. It wasn't given. Then the next one jumped into him again. I appealed for the free kick. This time the free kick was given, and then I got the yellow card. And I actually didn't even know what I was getting the yellow card for.
That was the same thing you argued the first time you got a yellow card against New England, I believe, was them jumping into Melanda.
I think that might have been the goal, complaining about the goal.
Okay.
Which I believe was offside, and I still do.
Okay. And then the one against Colorado was kind of protecting Wilf from Armas, the coach.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, the one at Colorado, the one against New England the first time, I held my hands up and said, my frustrations and emotions got the better of me, probably deserved a yellow card. Colorado, no, I was doing the fourth official's job for them. You know, you've got a technical area that you have to stay in, and their head coach was outside of his technical area, trying to get one of our players cautioned, and I just told him to get back in his technical area, which is technically the job of the fourth official.
So you broke a union rule then?
I broke a union. Well, not really, because we haven't got a union.
No, the refs do.
Oh, the refs do, but we don't.
What I'm kind of getting at is that, is there anything that you regret, or the timing, or anything, to get you the penalty that you got?
No, listen, I'm really disappointed. We've got the chance to do what only other one club has done before, is win 9 on the trot. We've won 8, and we've worked extremely hard to get that, and now we're going to join Seattle if we win that game. And unfortunately I've got to sit in the stands for a reason that I don't know, and don't understand fully.
Okay. And you said you wanted to rest him. Do you mean rest him in practice, or do you mean? No,
I've rested Tim for today.
He's done.
It was his second day recovery, so he's been in. Today was his first time him and Jack came in, so he came in, done a warm up, watched training, and then he went and had a massage. So he was never going to do any training with us today.
But Saturday?
Oh, Saturday, no, he's available for play. Yeah,
Thank you.
no worries.
Steve?
Have you ever known any referee in any sport, or any coach in any sport not to shout at the field? I mean,
No, that's why it's surprising. And I genuinely said to the referee, are you okay with me saying to the press that I have been cautioned for shouting onto the pitch? Yeah, okay.
yeah, it is odd in that sense. In regard to Tim, did you watch the U.S. matches?
I watched bits of them. Obviously, I had a lot on my mind with my son's wedding, so respectfully, I didn't watch all of it, to be honest.
No, but I mean, when you have players off on international duty, do you?
I like to keep up.
That, like even after.
Yeah, I like to keep up with what they're doing. Our performance team will get the minutes from their performance stats, what the players have done in training and in matches as well.
Yeah, because Tim played well in that, and obviously he's had more training than other players in that time. With going into this match, Miami is we'll get to the political side of it first. The suspensions to Suarez. I mean, is that something that you follow, or do you give much thought to, or are you just going to? It's whoever they're going to have.
Yeah, it's whatever their 11 is. Listen, I didn't watch the Leagues Cup final.
Yeah.
I was watching Oasis, which was very, very good at the MetLife, and then it was brought to my attention that something had gone off at the game. I'm not in control of what happens there, so somebody else is, and Luis Suarez is unavailable for that game. That's the only thing that's in our control. So we know that he's missing for that game.
Because yes, this is not just something that affects Charlotte, but because they have 4 games in hand, it affects the entire East Coast top of the table.
Yeah.
With their ability, with those 4 games, if they had maximum points, they'd be in first place right now. So every team is watching it, and other teams, have a vested interest in this Charlotte-Miami match as in their own matches as well. But I was just wondering, it's like when it's not something that you're going to have control over, you.
No, I mean, listen, my thoughts on the suspensions are inconsequential because I don't have to make that decision.
So with the team that they're going to be facing, Miami is a team that can score goals. They're also a team that can bleed goals. Do you give, in your scheme, are you giving a priority to attack more than defense, or because they have some exceptionally gifted players on offense?
A very good team. One exceptional player. I mean, one who's out of this world. Busquets, Alba, quality players. The other one's out of this world. So you've got to deal with that. But our concentration is on us. What we can do best. How can we blunt them, but also go and provide some opportunities.
Thank you.
Next we'll go to Michelle Kaufman.
All right. Hello, calling from Miami.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for doing this. Appreciate it. I'm just wondering, from a tactical standpoint, how is the team different without Suarez? He has not scored as many goals. Last year he had 20. This year he has 6. But he has 11 assists. He is still pretty important to the attack. How is this team different without Luis Suarez than with him? Thanks.
Well, I think just what you said there, they've taken out 11 assists out of the team. They have played 3 or 4 games without him this season that we've had a look at. I think the boy Olander has played up there when he hasn't played. So we've had a look at what they've done when he hasn't been there. But without him, you take out goals and assists. You take out the quality that he possesses. But we won't underestimate who comes in for him.
And can I ask one follow-up?
Yep.
Well, thank you. How do you expect, your team is obviously on an amazing roll right now with 8 wins in a row. How do you anticipate Miami coming out after that sort of embarrassing on the field and off the field situation in Seattle? What kind of team are you anticipating is going to come out there on Saturday?
You know, I mean, I've watched bits of the game back in the Leagues Cup, and you know, Seattle played very well, scored 2 late goals, but Miami had chances as well. You know, that wasn't just it wasn't a one-sided game, so it wasn't too disappointing on the pitch. The scoreline was very disappointing for them, and what happened after happened. You know, but I expect Miami just to have brushed out under the carpet now and moved on as you have to, and they'll be looking now at, you know, their chance to get points to get back in the Supporters' Shield race.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And congrats on your son's wedding.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
How many times have you been suspended in your career, player coach?
Twice.
Both coach, one each?
No, this one and one before.
One before.
I think I told you I got sent off Manchester City against Aston Villa. With an offside where Rodri had come round from an offside position, tackled Tyrone Mings. They scored a goal with 10 minutes to go. It was 0-0, and I'm claiming it's offside. And I got sent off for telling the referee that he may have had juggling balls for Christmas, because it was just after Christmas. Yeah, so I got a red card for that, and I was suspended for the next game. But that is the only. And they actually changed the law of the game 2 days after that game.
About the balls or
About the offside.
Because of that play? Or?
Yeah, because of that play.
The question I have for you regarding that, because as you say, it's twice now that you've been suspended.
Yeah,
First time here.
first time ever here.
Yeah, yeah,
So I've had 3 yellow cards this season in 31 games,
yeah.
and I've had 1 or 2 yellow cards in
Years.
700 games.
Yeah. So the question is, do you feel like you're getting a fair shake as a head coach in this league? And you can choose to not answer if you.
Listen, I don't think I ever intentionally get targeted. No, I do probably feel that, you know, sometimes the interpretation of my sarcasm maybe can get the better of me, and they not quite understand it.
Fair enough. As far as we had Wilford here yesterday, and he was talking about how he, over the first 5-10 games of the year, was kind of assimilating, and everybody's kind of getting to know his style and everything now. Now that you guys are on this role, and he has been contributing the way he has, whether it shows up as a secondary assist or a goal or just a pass to spring the play, is this group playing the way you want them? Is this what you envision this group to look like, or is there even another level that you want?
No, I still think there's another level. I still think there's. I didn't think we were great against New England, I must admit. I thought first 25 minutes we were excellent, but then we lost our rhythm. You know, Gibril had to come off, and we lost our rhythm. And when we lost our rhythm, we allowed them back into the game. And, you know, we were indebted to some really good blocks at times and a couple of good saves from Callie as well. So there's certainly more we can do. But I think we're in a good place. And, you know, winning naturally breeds confidence and belief. And, you know, we've certainly got that in bucket loads at the moment.
And Wolf yesterday indicated that, you know, the May and June spin wasn't obviously good, but it may have been beneficial to what this team is doing now. That guys had to learn more as a group how to win those games and earn those points. And message received, lessons learned.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a little bit of what he said, and I think he said rock bottom at one stage, and we was never at rock bottom, but that's how it may have felt for Wilf. You know, I actually still think we were playing okay in that period and deserved more points than what we got. That's just the way football is at times. You know, but the thing for me was never to get too low during that period, and keep pushing to what we believe, you know, the team should be looking like, and we're starting to get more and more like what we want.
We'll go to Sam Spencer.
Gene, congratulations. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you very much. I'm doing very well, thank you. And yes, a very good wedding for my son and my new daughter-in-law.
I wanted to ask you, you know, this year you've dealt with both grief and the highs of your son getting married now. How's that really framed what's important to you in life?
I've never lost sight of what's important in life. Family is the most important thing, always for me, and that will always continue to be so. My wife lost her father, and I lost my father-in-law probably a month ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and then you have your son's first wedding. But I've never lost sight of what's important to me.
Going into this weekend, obviously there's this record that's coming up, and maybe also the irony of Seattle helping you match their record in a way with the madness at the end of the Leagues Cup game. But how, aside from this match, how are you looking forward to ending the season in the best way for the club and for the chances in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, our job is to continue the momentum to go into the end of the season, the playoffs. With confidence, with belief, and we've made a very good go at doing that so far. There's still 5 games to go though, so we have to make sure we continue to do so.
Obviously, with a win and a Red Bulls loss, you clinched the playoffs. I know at the end of the year. Last year, beginning of this year, both you and Ash have told us that top 4 was the goal. You're currently in the top 4. What does that? I guess how do you stay there, and what would it mean to give the club the best finish they've ever had?
Consistency of performance. That's the biggest thing. That will keep getting you results and wins, and that will maintain you staying in the top 4. There's still a lot to do, and I think you look at the Eastern League, it's so tight. There's a lot of teams, and it shows what a strong league or side of the country this is. And we could win and Philly could lose, and all of a sudden the Supporters' Shield may still be in grasp because we played Philly at home last season. You've also got San Diego, who are doing so well in the Western Conference as well. So, what we've done is kept ourselves in the race, and we need to continue keeping ourselves in the race.
On Tuesday night, I got a chance to talk to Tim, and he told me that being able to end the international break with a win certainly gives momentum bouncing into this match. Do you think that being on this streak has just helped the confidence of the team and what you've referred to as the belief? Yeah, definitely.
He did. Winning breeds confidence, and the boys have gained confidence from it. It's 9 unbeaten, isn't it? Because I think we drew against Orlando. That was our first home game, and we've just continued that belief. We haven't been the better team in every game, but we've been the better in both boxes.
And last for me, obviously Jamie's wedding and Oasis, the boys from Liverpool, are a little more important.
Manchester.
Or Manchester.
That was the Beatles.
I'll try not to look back in anger when I think of this press conference. When you've got you had Tim in the South Korea match go up against Son, and you referred to Messi as one of those most exceptional players. I would say Son's up there. Is there anybody in this, going towards the end of the year here, who you really see as one of those better than the rest players you might have to go up against?
Listen, Messi is an exceptional player that you spend a decade to see a player of that calibre. Tim, I don't think he got sunburnt against Son. I thought he did okay against him, but he did score a good goal. And he's a big name player that signed for LAFC. So, if we have to come up against him, I'd be happy to do so, because that would mean it would be in the MLS final.
Cheers. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you. Cheers, Sam.
Enjoy the view from the cheap seats.
Yeah, I will do.
And we'll wrap up with Jorge.
Hey Dean, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, mate. Yourself?
Good, good. I wanted to start off with just asking you, are there big differences between the Miami you faced early in the season versus this one? Is there things that you could take away from that match? I mean, there was a red card early on in that match, so that kind of changed the game.
I thought we started the game very well. 11v11, I thought we were playing exceptionally well. We'd created a number of problems for them. Patrick going in behind, BB running in behind, Wilford played a number of really good balls in behind as well. So we were causing them problems. Obviously, they were missing Messi on the day. So he comes back. They had Suarez on the day, I believe, but he'll be missing this time. So, listen, we know what Messi can do, and we've got to be fully aware of him and fully concentrate to make sure that the magician doesn't pull off some magic tricks against us.
When it comes to you not being able to be there, is it a conversation that you have with leaders on the pitch like Zaha, Ashley, Kalina, that I guess there's a little extra that you require for them, or is this something that they automatically know?
Yeah, no, it's. I'd like to think where we've put the players at the moment, they understand what their roles are, what they've got to do on the pitch, and they're all growing as leaders at the same time as well. I mean, the difference is I'm going to have to give them my message a little bit earlier than I would normally. On the sidelines, they won't be hearing anything from me on the sidelines. They're the differences. They'll have to hear from the coaches, and respond in that way. And what we've got to make sure is we don't make it such a big difference by me being in the stands.
Nice. And then the last one for me is I wanted to ask you about the fluidity right now of the attack that you have. You've got Zaha in really great form, Idan Toklamati in really good form.
Yeah, they're all doing really well. There is some fluidity. They've got some responsibilities, but also I give them a little bit of onus in the final third as well. You can not play it inside and go and join inside and then have some opposite movements. But their link-up play has been really, really good at the moment. Idan's spring in the penalty box when a cross comes in is there for all to see. He must have liked Winnie the Pooh when he was a young kid. He's looking a little bit like Tigger at the moment, the way he gets up for them headers. But yeah, no, there's some really good play from the players at the moment, and the front four are looking good.
Awesome, thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
And we'll finish one with Carol.
The halftime talk has been one of your strengths this year, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Can you take a video of yourself and have or is it just gonna be bullet points you pass on to a coach?
No, there'll be bullet points that I'll pass on and have the information, and I can actually try and prepare the clips ready, for the players to see at half time to make my points. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.